$2,000, that is a lot of money. What can you do with an additional $2,000? Please note that we aren't talking about breaking any rules or doing anything unethical or illegal. The ironic thing is that we're actually using the rules and complying with IRS legal guidelines. The secret is, can I get a drum roll please? Start a home-based business. Ta-da! That's it. That's my secret weapon. Although, instead of being a secret weapon, it's really more like an underutilized and underappreciated tool that is available and beneficial to almost everyone. Now here's how it works. I'm going to break it down plain and simple. Let's use an imaginary person. Let's assume that we've got this guy named Jim. And Jim is an employee at ABC Retailers. Each pay period, his employer is deducting Social Security, Medicare, and federal income tax from his check. Now each year Jim makes about $25,000 from ABC Retailers, and they withhold $2,500 for federal income tax. Last year, Jim came to me to do his taxes, and he received a refund check of $987. Now, that actually included a $400 credit, making work pay credit, which is not available every year. So if he had not had that credit last year, he would have only gotten $587. But nonetheless, Jim got a refund of $987. Now, I saw the look on Jim's face, and he was really disappointed. You know, he hears all these stories about people who are getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. He's only getting $987. So when I saw how disappointed he was, I explained to him the tax benefits of starting a home-based business, such as, a network marketing opportunity. Well, it made sense to Jim, and he believed me, and so he signed up with the company that I was affiliated with. Now let's speed up the clock. Let's fast forward it. And it's now 2011, and Jim is coming to me to get his taxes done again. Now when we look over his documents, almost everything is exactly the same. He worked with the same company, he made the exact amount of money, and the same amount of money was deducted from his paychecks. The only thing is different is that Jim actually made some extra money from the network marketing business. Turned out that he really liked it. The opportunity paid off for him. He made an extra $6,000. Now that's not bad for money that he made in his spare time. Now, of course, Jim, he's sitting over there. He's all freaking out and nervous because he made all this extra money, and he knows that no taxes were withheld. So he's just terrified that he is going to actually owe IRS money this year. Now, imagine his surprise when, after tapping on my computer keys for several minutes, I look at Jim and I say, guess what? You're getting a refund of $1,987. Now, Jim is completely flabbergasted. How could this be? He made more money than he did last year if you calculate in the extra that he made from the business. He didn't pay taxes on the $6,000, but yet he's getting $1,000 more back this year. What Jim didn't realize is that now that he is a business owner, he is able to write off things he had never been able to write off before as an employee. For instance, he used his cell phone to run his business, so that meant his cell phone bills are now deductible. The business was web-based, so his internet services are now a deduction. He had some cousins in another state that he was sure would do absolutely fantastic with this business opportunity, and he knew the best way to introduce them to it was in person. So he hopped on a plane, flew over to them, and took them all out to dinner. The flight, the hotel, the rental car, the meals, all tax write-offs. He had some friends that he went to school with that lived, a couple of 100 miles away. So he hopped in his car, went back and forth a few times to give them all the ins and outs, and to later go back and train them. And guess what? All of those expenses, those travel expenses, were write-offs. Now, all of these extra miles on Jim's car caused him to have some mechanical issues, so he had to take the car to the repair shop. Let me hear you say write-off. Several times he took his little nephews to the mall with him to pass out some flyers to help promote the business. He gave them some money for helping them out, bought them some lunch, gave them some ice cream and all this stuff, and guess what? all write-offs, and it just keeps going on and on and on. He turned the spare bedroom into an office, so now it's a write-off, and part of his utility bill is a write-off. He needed a new computer to do all of these sale calls outside the office, and guess what? He needed wireless access everywhere he went, so the broadband connection, the new laptop, all of it, write-offs. Now, want to know something even more exciting? Imagine if Jim was eligible for earned income credit because he had kids. Using the same income, his refund jumps from $2,515 with one child to $3,649. And if he had two children, it jumps from $3,900 to well over $5,500. Now, isn't it amazing that you can actually make more money and owe less taxes? Well, the wealthy do it all the time. Now you know how to pay less taxes as well. Jim made an extra $6,000, had a chance to visit his family and friends, bought a new computer, ate like a king, and got a bigger tax refund. That seems like a no-brainer way to win all around to me. Now, I had a real client that came to me last year, and I explained this concept to her, and she took me up on it. She actually made an additional $1,500 this year with a product she loved, and she was able to get a $2,000 increase in her federal tax refund. Now, if you want to see if this works for you, because it is very general, may not work for everybody, there's different situations that it may not apply to, but if you want to see if it works for you, please feel free to give me a call at 407-622-7422. That number's 407-622-7422. Or visit us at our website, dreamachievers411.com. I am Michelle T. Martin, and remember, if you want to soar with eagles, you must stop running around with the chickens. Be blessed.